So in my samples, so if you did load a sample right there, it would have brought it up automatically and shown. So I'll show you what I mean by that. If you uploaded a sample, it would show you something like this. So it'll show you what the audio looks like, and then this is how you edit it together. Where you want the this is how you edit where you want the pattern to start. And then this one right here can be useful when you're trying to cross samples or instruments and they sound out of sync. This button here, it automatically shifts the pitch either slightly or more majorly, so that you can fine tune things to sound as harmonizing as you can get. So the one I'll use for this one, it's the same track of the samples I sent you yesterday, but like I said, I take those instruments and turn them into sound so that they're not really samples anymore. They're more like designed instruments. So it is this one right here. So to open it, you press this arrow at the very right of the screen, and then it'll bring this up. I'm not going to change this because I edited it already to where I wanted the sample to begin. So I'll show just the different version of it to show you. So the way I look for samples to use in a song is just variously just moving it up and down. That's pretty. These arrows on the very bottom right next to sustain, these change the octaves. And then so the way I do it is just to find a sample, just press a single note here and there while sliding this beginning option back and forth. So it's just like, oh, so that's one other thing. When you use the sampler, first things first, before loading a sample, for some reason whenever you open the sampler to a new sample, the reverb here at the very bottom will always be on, which I don't like. And then you can sometimes you won't notice it until later on when you've merged the tracks or something. I'll get into that later. But so first things first, I would when you open the sampler and you have the sample already, just press this levels button, I'll call it, in the very top right. Scroll down, make sure reverb is off, and then scroll back to the top and go to track settings, this one up here. And then go to velocity sensitivity, turn it off, because it gives your patterns that you record a much nicer sound, a much more balanced. Otherwise, it can seem somewhat disorganized or disharmonious or whatever. But again, sometimes that effect can be good. So just to show you the difference, I turn off velocity sensitivity pretty much every time. So this is with it. So it can get a lot louder or a lot lower. So I just turn it off so that it's equal, no matter how hard you press. So then, and then you can probably hear that pop at the beginning of the sample. What that is for some reason when you move the position you want a sample to start in, there's I think it's because there's like an immediate attack, I think is what it's called, of the sound. So it gives it this pop that makes it sound like you can just kind of tell it's chopped. And sometimes you don't, like, I don't really hear it there, but yeah, like right there, you can hear it's pretty. I find it pretty annoying. So to fix this, go to shape. So down here it'll say trim. Then this is tune. This is shape. So to fix this pop, go to shape, and then drag this first top circle out a little bit, and then the one at the very right, slide it over just a bit so that and just enough so that it's still, you can't really tell that it's being like a fade in or whatever, but also you can't tell that it's popping. It gives it a much nicer sound. So that versus that, and then this bottom one here can be useful because there is the option to turn on sustain, which automatically will play the song or the sample. But shit, let me stop that. But if you're using a sample, turning on sustain won't work because it'll play the entire song no matter the notes that you're pressing, and it'll just sound chaotic. So instead of using sustain, take this bottom circle in shape and then drag it out, and that will add like a fade out or a sustain type thing. So like, and it'll fade out on its own.